Have you ever stopped to wonder what it really means to be strong and powerful in the wild African savanna today? Most animals believe that true strength means being the biggest, the fastest, and the absolute most feared creature around. But today we're going to discover an absolutely powerful secret about real strength that changed one young lion's life forever. This is the absolutely incredible story of Leo, a magnificent young lion who thought being strong meant something completely different. What he learned changed not just his own life, but the entire savanna community forever. Leo was born into the royal lion pride with a magnificent golden mane that shimmered beautifully in the bright African sun. From the moment he could walk, Leo wanted to prove he was the strongest and most powerful lion ever. He would practice his roar every single morning, trying to make it louder and more terrifying than any other lion. Leo believed that being strong meant making other animals afraid, running away, and respecting his incredible power. But everything changed one hot summer day when the great drought came to the savanna. The watering holes began drying up slowly, and animals everywhere started struggling to survive each day. This is where Leo's amazing journey of discovery truly begins, and it's going to surprise you completely. Because what happened next taught Leo the most important lesson about strength that he would ever learn. And by the end of this incredible story, you'll understand what true strength really means too. So let's dive into Leo's amazing adventure and discover how one lion changed everything for the entire savanna. Leo lived in the beautiful Pride Lands, where golden grass stretched for miles under the endless blue African sky. Every morning, the sun would rise over the distant mountains, painting the savanna in beautiful shades of orange and gold. Leo's father was the king of the pride, strong and respected by every single animal across the entire savanna. Young Leo watched his father every day, studying how he walked, how he roared, and how other animals responded. But Leo noticed something. Other animals ran away whenever his father approached them on the plains. Leo believed that making animals run away was what being strong and powerful was truly all about. So every single day, Leo practiced roaring at the smaller animals, trying to make them scatter in fear. He would chase the zebras, frighten the gazelles, and even scare the little meerkats away from their homes. Leo felt powerful and important every time an animal ran away from him as fast as they could. But his mother, the wise Queen Nala, watched her young son with growing concern each passing day. She knew that Leo was learning the wrong lesson about what true strength really meant in life. One evening, Queen Nala sat with Leo on Pride Rock as the sun set beautifully over the savanna. She told him, "My son, real strength isn't about making others afraid or forcing them to run away." But Leo didn't understand what his mother meant, and he continued his behavior every single day. Then something terrible happened that would change everything Leo believed about strength and power forever. The rains didn't come that year, and the great drought began spreading across the entire savanna. The watering holes started shrinking day by day, and the grass turned brown and dry under the scorching sun. Animals from all across the savanna had to travel longer distances just to find water and food. The strong animals could still manage, but the smaller and weaker ones were beginning to struggle terribly. Leo noticed that the animals he used to chase were now too weak and tired to run away. At first, Leo felt even more powerful because now he could chase them without any effort at all. Then something happened that made Leo stop and think about his actions for the first time. Leo saw a baby zebra collapse from exhaustion near the dried-up watering hole, unable to stand anymore. The mother zebra was frantically trying to help her baby, but she was too weak and exhausted herself. And that's when everything changed for Leo, because he saw something he'd never noticed before. Leo watched from a distance as the mother zebra gently nuzzled her baby, trying desperately to help. Her eyes were filled with love and fear, and she looked around desperately hoping someone would help them. Leo's first instinct was to walk away. After all, zebras were just prey animals to lions. But something deep inside Leo's heart made him pause and think about what he was seeing right there. He remembered his mother's words about real strength and what it truly meant to be powerful. Leo made a decision that surprised even himself. He walked toward the zebras instead of away. The mother zebra saw Leo approaching and tried to stand between him and her baby, protecting her child. But Leo did something amazing that shocked the mother zebra and changed everything in that moment. Leo lowered his head gently and used his strong paws to dig into the dry earth near the watering hole. He remembered seeing elephants do this during droughts, digging deep to find hidden water beneath the surface. Leo's powerful paws dug deeper and deeper until water began seeping up from underground. The mother zebra couldn't believe what she was seeing, and tears of relief filled her beautiful brown eyes. She quickly brought her baby to the small pool of water that Leo had discovered beneath the surface. The baby zebra drank slowly, and with each sip, strength began returning to her tiny, weak body. Leo watched as the mother zebra looked at him with gratitude, respect, and something new in her eyes. It wasn't fear anymore. It was respect, real respect based on kindness instead of terror. For the first time in his life, Leo felt a different kind of power growing inside his heart. It felt stronger and more meaningful than any roar he had ever made or any animal he'd chased. Leo realized something incredible in that moment that would change his entire life moving forward. Real strength wasn't about making others afraid. It was about using power to help others. Word spread quickly across the savannah about what Leo had done for the zebra mother and baby. Other animals began watching Leo with curiosity, wondering if he had truly changed from the bully he was. The next day, Leo did something even more amazing that proved his transformation was completely real. He found a group of elderly wildebeest struggling to reach the waterhole because the path was blocked. Large rocks had fallen during the drought, creating a dangerous barrier that the weak animals couldn't cross. Leo used his powerful strength to push the rocks aside, clearing a safe path for everyone. The wildebeest were so grateful, and they thanked Leo with gentle nods and sounds of appreciation. Leo realized that his strength could open paths, solve problems, and make life better for others. Each day brought new opportunities for Leo to use his power in helpful and protective ways. When young meerkats got trapped in a collapsed burrow, Leo carefully dug them out to safety. When gazelles were threatened by hyenas, Leo stood guard, protecting them without needing to fight anyone. When baby birds fell from nests during windstorms, Leo gently placed them back using his mouth. The most amazing thing was happening across the entire savannah that nobody had expected at all. Animals were no longer running away from Leo when they saw him approaching them on the plains. Instead, they would come closer, bringing their problems and asking for his help and protection. Leo's mother, Queen Nala, watched her son's transformation with pride, joy, and deep satisfaction. She knew that Leo had finally learned the true meaning of strength and what real power meant. One evening, as the sun painted the sky orange and purple, Leo sat with his mother. "Mother," Leo said, "I finally understand what you meant about real strength and using power correctly." Queen Nala smiled warmly and replied, "My son, you've learned the most important lesson a lion can. True strength isn't measured by how many animals fear you, but by how many you protect." Leo's transformation had a ripple effect that spread throughout the entire savannah community. Other young lions in the pride began watching Leo and learning from his example every single day. They saw that being respected was far more powerful and meaningful than being feared by others. The pride began working together to help all the animals survive the terrible drought conditions. They dug more water holes, cleared paths to resources, and protected the weakest animals from danger. Something beautiful was happening in the savannah that had never been seen there before. Animals that were once enemies began cooperating, helping each other survive through the difficult times. The elephants taught the lions where to dig for water, sharing their ancient wisdom. The giraffes used their long necks to spot danger from far away, warning everyone of approaching threats. The meerkats shared their knowledge of which roots and plants were safe to eat during drought. And Leo became the bridge between all these different animals, bringing everyone together. He had transformed from a young bully who scared others into a true leader who protected everyone. One day, the biggest challenge came that would test everything Leo had learned about true strength. A terrible dust storm approached the savannah, threatening to destroy the few remaining water sources completely. Leo knew he had to act quickly to protect all the animals who now depended on him. He gathered all the strongest animals together and explained his brilliant plan to save the water. Lions would use their bodies to create windbreaks. Elephants would cover waterholes with branches and leaves. Zebras and wildebeest would move the young and elderly to shelter inside the protected cave systems. Every animal had a role to play, and everyone worked together following Leo's leadership. The storm hit with fierce winds and blinding sand that made it nearly impossible to see. But Leo stood firm at the front, protecting the entrance to the caves where all animals sheltered. The wind pushed against him powerfully, but Leo's strength held steady throughout the entire terrible storm. Behind him, hundreds of animals waited safely, trusting that Leo's strength would keep them protected. For hours, Leo stood there, using his power not to frighten, but to shield. When the storm finally passed, all the animals emerged safely, and the water sources remained protected. The entire savanna erupted in celebration, with every animal thanking Leo for his incredible brave protection. But Leo humbly said, "I couldn't have done it without everyone working together as one." This is what real strength looks like, using power to bring everyone together instead of apart. From that day forward, Leo became known as Leo the Protector across the entire savanna. Young animals would play near him fearlessly, knowing they were completely safe in his powerful presence. Elderly animals would rest beside him, finding comfort and security in his gentle, protective strength. And other lions learned from his example, understanding that true power means protecting the vulnerable. The rains eventually returned to the savanna, bringing life and green grass back to the plains. But something had changed forever in that place, something more important than just the weather. The animals had learned that working together and protecting each other made everyone stronger than before. And Leo had become the symbol of this new way, showing what true leadership really means. Years passed, and Leo grew into a magnificent adult lion with a golden mane like his father. But unlike the old ways, Leo's roar didn't scatter animals, it called them together for protection. When Leo became king of the pride, he ruled with strength that protected rather than frightened. The Pride Lands became famous across Africa as the place where predators and prey cooperated peacefully. Other lion prides heard about Leo's way and began changing how they used their strength too. The old belief that strength meant domination began fading away, replaced by a better understanding. True strength, Leo taught everyone, means having power and choosing to use it for good. It means standing up for those who cannot stand, protecting those who cannot protect themselves. It means using your gifts, talents, and abilities to make the world better for everyone around you. Leo's story spread far beyond the savanna, carried by the birds who migrated across the continent. In distant lands, animals began questioning what strength truly meant and how they should use it. Young elephants, giraffes, and even crocodiles started thinking about protecting instead of intimidating. Leo's lesson was creating a wave of change across the entire African continent. But Leo never forgot that terrible day when he saw the zebra mother and her struggling baby. That moment had changed everything, opening his eyes to what real power and strength truly meant. He often told young lions, "The strongest moment of my life was when I chose to help. Not when I chased the most animals or roared the loudest or made everyone afraid of me, but when I used my strength to dig that water hole and save 2 lives that day. That's when I truly became strong, when I became a protector instead of just a predator." Leo's own cubs grew up learning this lesson from birth, never knowing the old fearful ways. They played with zebra foals, ran with young gazelles, and protected meerkat babies like siblings. A new generation was growing up understanding that strength and kindness work together, not against each other. The savanna became a place where everyone could thrive, protected by those with the power to help. And it all started with one young lion who made the brave choice to change, to go against what he'd always believed and discover a better way to be strong. Leo's story teaches us that anyone can change, no matter how they've behaved in the past. It's never too late to choose kindness, protection, and using your strength to help others. Every single one of us has strength in some way, whether physical, mental, or emotional. The question isn't whether we're strong, but how we choose to use that strength every day. Will we use it to make others afraid? Or will we use it to make others safe? Will we use it to push people down? Or will we use it to lift people up? Leo chose protection over domination, and it changed his entire world forever. Now the question is, what will you choose to do with your strength and power? Leo's journey teaches us 3 incredibly important lessons about strength and how we use it. First, real strength isn't about making others afraid. It's about making others feel safe and protected. Second, the most powerful feeling comes from helping others, not from dominating or controlling them. And third, changing from being a bully to being a protector takes courage, but it's always worth it. Think about people in your life who are strong. Maybe they're bigger, older, or smarter than others. The best way they can use that strength is by protecting, helping, and standing up for others. Maybe you're strong in some way too. Maybe you're good at sports, school, or making friends. You can be like Leo by using your strengths to help others instead of showing off. When you protect someone who's being picked on, you're using strength the way Leo did. When you help someone who's struggling with homework or carrying something heavy, that's real strength. When you stand up for what's right, even when it's hard, that's the bravest strength of all. Leo learned that being respected for kindness feels so much better than being feared for meanness. And here's something important. It's never too late to change like Leo did. If you've ever used your strength the wrong way, you can make a different choice starting today. Every day is a new chance to be a protector, a helper, and someone who uses strength wisely. So, what did we learn from Leo's amazing journey from bully to protector of the savannah? We learned that true strength means protecting others, helping the weak, and standing up for what's right. We learned that being respected is better than being feared, and kindness is the ultimate power. And we learned that anyone can change, grow, and become the hero of their own story. Now I have an important question for you to think about today and every day moving forward. How do you use your strengths to help others in your family, school, or community? Are there people around you who need protection, help, or someone to stand beside them? I want you to share in the comments below. How will you be like Leo the Protector? Tell us one way you'll use your strength to help someone this week. We can't wait to hear. Thank you so much for joining Leo on this incredible journey. Remember, true strength protects.